After I met you, I didn't know this story for maybe a year.
Yeah.
Like you, because clearly you have a lot of experience and knowledge on this area, even on the ropes point of view. But your humility is very, like, something that stands out. And you have to be humble, like you're saying, to know who you are, but be humble about it and put yourself in a position of, okay, I'm joining this group, but I know, as in, I have a lot to share about it, but let me find out what's going on first there. Let me, like, humble your way into it, because we found out this story ourselves. Like, you never came and started sharing the stories to us. But there, you know me, I've been in this, I've been this, kindly listen to me. Like, it was more of, it comes out slowly, naturally, and like you mentioned, the humility to share these stories is outstanding.
You know how many guys are in church with stories like mine? But they'll never say that.
They'll never say. And now the stories
because they have an image now to protect, and a view from their sons and daughters, and people in Christ and things like that.
And even the whole point of these stories for me is to show that once you share these stories, we lift you higher. Like, we should not, as Christians, we should not look at somebody in a different way because they have shared their story and have been open enough or brave enough to be like, this is what I went through, this is how, and help somebody who is hiding somewhere.
Yeah, but you see that we would be hypocritical if we did that. We're on the pulpit every day asking people to come to Christ. Why? Because they're rotten. Because there are bad things happening in their lives. Or why are they coming to Christ?
Yeah.
They want a change, a newness. The Bible says that the old has gone. Behold, I think it's 2 Corinthians 5:17. The new has come. So if the old has gone, it means the old was not good. It had to go. Which is why, really, I think what you are doing is very, very important. Not only in terms of us being able to share stories and somebody saying, hey, imagine I see that guy. Can you imagine that guy was deported, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we have those types. They will whisper you behind your back and be like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Yeah, but now
and then we have the type who will say, that story is helpful.
Very,
for someone else, for myself.
And I want us to be loud. Those people who are saying this is helpful, I want us to be loud enough to make people comfortable to share. Because people, especially in like a church setting, the amount of storytelling that goes around behind people's backs is tremendous. So us making it loud enough to share that this is helpful and it's not something that you need to hide, I feel like should be encouraging to many people. And so just to thank you for sharing your story this far. But let us proceed with this story because I know it's we're nearing the end.
At this far. Oh my goodness.
So you come out of rehab now, encountered God there, decided now to change your life. How long were you in rehab for?
I was in rehab for 102 days.
102 days. So you leave rehab. How old are you now when you're out of rehab?
I'm in my 30s. I'm 34.
Okay, so what happens now after rehab? Just give us a brief.
Yeah, so
on
now
your new life now.
Now I got into a reality show. Then I met my wife.
You met your wife in a reality show. Can you share about how
I met my wife in a reality show. Let me just say that because you know what? Usually why I don't even say much about it because usually when I say that people run to YouTube, find the reality show, and then now it takes over.
The whole other stories.
It's okay. Which I find very sad because in this country we are very, how do I put it? We have this very fake celeb mentality thing going on, which makes us want to reach out for such stories because they're kind of sensational. But they shouldn't be that story. The story should be what happened before, which is what we are talking about. What got us here, So let me just say, got into a relationship, met my wife, and my wife was then, she was a widow too.
Okay.
So we started talking, we started dating. Within 4 months of our meeting, we had gotten engaged.
That was fast.
Actually, it was 90 days.
that
it was 90 days. But
you're also very convincing. You're very good with words. Like
it was 90
maybe
days. No, I was serious. I didn't have much time now to lose Nini. So we got married. I adopted the children. We now have 3, and this is our 11th year
together.
Yeah, this is our 11th year.
How did she react when you shared your story with her, or did she already know?
She also had a story. In fact, you should find her to give you her story.
She also has a story.
Not like mine, but a story of great loss and tragedy, which she shared with me. And she told me off the block, me, I'm a single mother of 2. So then we went and I remember we went and met a greenhouse up here on Ngong Road. And we sat there, we talked until they chased us out. Because I was very candid from the get-go. I said, look, I'm talking to you, but this is the story behind me. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think when you come from a point, I'm an advocate for people being the authentic self. Because when you come from a point where you're very real with what has happened to you, it's very easy for someone to connect with you, especially if they are as real, and for you guys to find a true and meaningful relationship out of it. Too much time we are trying to front because the world is full of us, fronting you. You show up in a Mercedes that's not yours, you borrowed it from your uncle or your brother or someone.
Or car rental, you rent a car.
You're trying to show that you are Mercedes material. If you don't have a car, walk. If someone accepts you when you're walking, so much better. You're so much better for it, or we go to a hotel you barely can afford. We are so much full of that front, which is not a good thing, which is what I found very drawing about her, which has, kept us going throughout the years. So that was a good thing.
And now being a father, how has that experience been for you?
I had to learn up quickly. By the time I was being a father, I had, Sheila was 3, and Bella was how old? Was 11, 10.
So how's parenting? Because I heard there's being a parent to you can parent other people's children, but your own now becomes another.
It's a constant learning process. This whole parenting thing, there's no one size fits all. You have to constantly learn, what not to do, what to do better, and what to learn. And most times, what to learn, you can learn from your children as you grow along. The thing is never to remove the communication lines from each other. Just today I was telling a parent who were having a chat, and I was saying, if you want to get to know your Europa well, sometimes when they're in the car, let them choose the music. If you have an ability to do YouTube, the better. Ask them to pick. See what they see. Hear what they hear. Then you can begin to question it intelligently while controlling yourself not to lose it.
Yeah.
Because if you lose it, you also lose the person. If you don't sink into their world and try and see these things from their perspective and try to reason with them as to why something should not be done, you'll end up losing the person that you're trying to build. And I only learned this only because I see it from the perspective of, if I could go back myself to when I was a teenager, what would I want my parents to do for me? How would I want them to handle the issue of girls, with my issue of suspension and blah, blah, And then I try to place myself now as the I'm doing. Yeah? So there truly isn't a useless experience. Every experience we are put in life, we can draw something if we are willing to learn. Yeah. And so I'm saying, but you can't afford to be aloof about it. Don't just bring your child to church, give them over to the ropes fraternity, and then walk away and think somebody's going to fix your kid for you. No one will do that, Christ is in the business of fixing, but he's using people. And he wants to use you as a parent. And remember, you are the one most accountable. You're the priest in your home. If you're the father, the mother, if you're a single mother, more power to you. You're the priest in your home. The onus of what's happening is falling flatly on you. Everything else is a tool. Ropes, schools, And there are things we can say as parents that we can influence. For example, for me as a parent, I tell myself, up to the point where my children are able to do things for themselves, I can influence who they meet by where I take them. Yeah? I can influence because that's upon me. I can influence the kind of people and circles they're in by who I invite to my home. Yeah? And I should use that influence wisely while I still have it. which is why we bring them to church, to these ropes programs, to things like that, blah, blah, blah. But in the hope that in turn, as those things, we are trying to influence them outward there, we can also influence them ourselves. So that when they walk out, they're a full and real person who can make decisions that can glorify God.
True. And now as we wrap up, maybe for somebody who's made many mistakes, how do you advise them in this new journey? Because I think once you left rehab, you'd started a new journey, and like we've just thought about it now, it was 26 years ago. You've been able to carve out a whole new journey, and many people give up before they start this new journey.
Yeah.
So what kind of I don't want to give you a motivation speech, but like just to show them that there's this other life. Well, it's never too late.
I wish I could say I was always like motivated. I always knew that the tide would turn. I always knew that, you know, things would get better for me. And no, I didn't. In fact, if anything, I was demotivated. I was, I'm the least qualified person to talk about how somebody can keep hope alive. But you know, I've come to realize one thing, that sometimes the plans of God, yeah, are unforeseen as we go forward, yeah, but are seen clearly as we look backward, yeah, so that you may not know the next step in the staircase. So it's like climbing a staircase, and this staircase is in a building where you're in a tunnel and there are no windows. And you keep climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing until one day you get to the top, and then the view is so excellent, you know. You just have to keep on telling yourself that the view up there, no matter what's going to happen, and this is only coming from now a point of experience, is that the view up there will be excellent. So you have to keep on trying, you have to keep on, you know, moving, and you have to ask God to help you. Because I think if you do not even I think, I know, if you do not ask God to help you in this particular journey, then really everything else is not. I shudder to imagine what happens to people who don't believe in God. I mean, where do you turn to? Who's the person you can lean on? Who will you talk to? Because you know, a bottle will always be there for you in that time of the bottle, but a bottle will not advise you. If anything, it will take away from you your money, your relationships, your what. But only God can pour something anew in you. So for me, I say press on, just knowing that the view at the top will be spectacular.